Elon Musk is the CEO of SpaceX and Tesla and was ranked by Forbes as number 21 on their list of the world's most powerful people. He went from being raised by his abusive father in the suburbs of South Africa to now being the 20th richest person in the world with a net worth of $31.8 billion. And today we're going to learn his best advice on when you should or should not quit on your dreams. Rise and shine, it's Entspresso time!
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Hey, it's Carmichael, and every morning I bring you a shot of Entspresso to help you believe in yourself and start your day with more confidence. So good morning, I believe in you, and let's do this. Over to you, Elon Musk.
2008 in particular was awful because we had the third launch failure in a row of our Falcon 1 vehicle at SpaceX, the Tesla financing round that we were raising fell apart because the economy was going to tailspin, and it's pretty hard to raise money for a startup car company, late 2008 when GM and Chrysler are busy going bankrupt. Mm-hmm. That was tough, and then SolarCity had to deal with Morgan Stanley, and Morgan Stanley had to renege on the deal because they themselves were running out of money. So it looked like all three companies were going to die, mm-hmm. and I was also going through a divorce. So that was definitely a low point.
So it's 2008, you're going through a divorce, which like some, to borrow your word, douchebag bloggers are writing about to make even worse.
Right, yes, that's true. In addition to all that stuff happening, I was getting dumped on massively in the press.
Right.
Yeah.
It looks like all three companies are going to fail. I mean, why do you keep going with all three? Like, I feel like even a lot of great entrepreneurs in that situation would have been like, I've already sunk everything I have in these companies, and I got to pick one. But you didn't. I mean, you kept doing all three. Why?
That was a very tough call. At the end of 2008, that was probably one of the toughest calls I've had to make. Because I could either reserve capital for one company or the other. I mean, fortunately, SolarCity didn't need a ton of capital, so they were okay. But between SpaceX and Tesla, it's sort of like if you've got two kids, and what do? Do you spend all your money to maximize the probability of success of one, or do you try to keep both alive? Fortunately, it worked.
When do you quit? You quit when you don't love it anymore. If you quit now, but you still love it, you will regret that decision the rest of your life. You'll constantly wonder, what if I just gave it one more day, one more week, one more month? You might have to slow down and do something else to survive, but you have to keep going if you still love it. So I look at my early days as a YouTube creator, and you can go back on my channel and see how awkward I was and nervous I was. And my first video, I'm sitting down in a suit and a tie, and I'm sweating, and I'm trying to memorize my lines, and it took me all day to make one video. Most of my lines were me reading because I couldn't memorize the entire script, and I was so afraid of not having to be perfect with my lines, and so I read most of it and had B-roll on top of it. But still, it took me a whole day just to get some of those lines out on cameras, like take after take after take after take after take. And when I started, on paper, it looked like a stupid idea. I had no video background. I'm introverted. It doesn't come across now, but I'm introverted. I don't like being the center of attention. I don't go and talk to people and introduce myself. I don't like the camera being on me. I don't like being in a spotlight. It doesn't make me feel amazing about myself. I don't crave it. I'd much rather be at home by myself, with my wife. That's super comfortable for me. That's easy. So when I started, it was just an experiment. And even though I wasn't very good at it, I just loved it. I don't know, I liked it. I'm a visual learner, and I think people are built to serve, right? And I struggled so much as an entrepreneur that I wish there was more content for entrepreneurs that was visual and that modeled success. Bill Gates saved my company, not me talking to him or him investing in my business, just his story, how he started. I applied and that started growing my company. And I wish there were more resources telling the stories of successful, famous entrepreneurs that you could learn from. One, just get inspired to say, wow, look what they can do. But two, also to get specific ideas to help you grow your business. And it didn't exist. And so I thought, I'm going to go make it, right? Typical entrepreneur. Nothing exists in the market, so I'm going to go off and create it myself. And so it made me do all these things that I was afraid of, that I wasn't good at, that I didn't have natural talent at. And it took me 5 years to get to my first 7,000 subscribers, right? Think about that journey. Now, I wasn't doing it every day. I wasn't as hardcore committed. I was experimenting and playing with it a bunch before actually taking it seriously. But I loved it. Even now, I love it. Like, as much as I'm afraid to get in front of the camera, or afraid to go and do a speech because I don't want to disappoint people, I still love it. I love it. I love serving. I love helping people. This is what I need to do. And so even though I wasn't seeing a lot of momentum or traction at the beginning, even though all this stuff on paper looked like it was against me and I should quit and I should go do something else, for whatever reason in my heart it told me I can't quit now. I have to keep going. And just through sheer perseverance and adjusting and developing the skill set and getting better and becoming more skilled, I slowly got better. And now here we are. You know, my main channel has over 2 million subscribers and 300 million views, and it's only because I didn't quit on my dreams when everybody else would have quit. And I want the same thing for you. If you still love the thing that you're doing, it may not make sense right now. It may not be practical right now. You don't know how it's all going to work out. Awesome. You have to keep going or you're going to regret it. Just quick story. I remember meeting a friend of mine in Orlando a number of years ago, just as I was about to start taking off. So maybe 5 years ago or so in Orlando. And he was telling me that he's going to be the next Gary Vee and that I'm going to go off and be the next big YouTuber and let's go build this thing and like cheer each other on. And he posted something maybe 2 years ago on his Instagram saying, I met Evan in Orlando, and he showed, posted the picture of us having a, Starbucks in Orlando. And I told him I was going to be the next Gary Vee and he was going to go off and be the next big YouTuber. And Evan went off and did it, and I didn't do my part. He just didn't have enough momentum. He just start and stopped, and he didn't do it. And he has a lot more natural talent, charisma, energy than I do. I think we both have an equal level of kind of care and love and wanting to serve and help, but he was way more gifted naturally than me. The only difference is I just kept going. I loved it and I didn't want to quit on it, and now he regrets that he didn't take the action. Now he's off doing it. He's chasing his dreams down. He's back on the horse and creating more content and trying to be that next person, but he regrets not having hustled as much as I did over the 3-4 years between us meeting. And I don't want that for you. You've got a dream, energy, passion. You know you can give something great to the world. If you love it, you have to find a way to keep going. If you don't love it, quit immediately. Like, get out of that business if you hate it. If you love it and it just hasn't worked out yet, you have to keep going. Now I've got a 3-step process for you to know if you should keep going and how to have the momentum to keep doing it that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, if you want daily confidence, I have a sequence where for 254 days, I'm going to email you a free unlisted video from your heroes and mentors to help you stay confident. The link to join is in the description below.
There are just times when something is important enough, you believe in it enough that you do it in spite of the fear.
If you have a great product, lots of people will buy it. And then the company will be successful. That ended up being worse than if we had designed a car from the beginning.
Okay, so what's the 3-step process to know if you should quit and how to keep the momentum going on your dreams? Let's go. Step number 1 is make the big decisions in your life with your heart and the small ones with the head. Big decisions with the heart, small ones with the head. Here's the thing. Your head is designed to keep you safe. Your head only understands a world that currently exists. It's logical, it's practical, it's survival mode. It keeps you safe. It knows what already exists. The problem is your heart wants to create something new. Your heart is telling you to go off and do something that's never been done before. So the fact that you want to step outside what your parents have done and what your community does, what your family has done, is not safe, is not practical, is not logical. You want to create and burst something new. That's what entrepreneurs do. So often the big ideas that you have, your head and your heart they're not aligned, they're fighting. Your heart wants to do this thing, you love it, you know it's inside you, like, I gotta make this thing. But your head's saying, you can't do that. You don't have the schooling, education, resources, connections, money. You can't go off and do that. Go get the safe job, right? And so often the head wins out because we live in scarcity, but your heart knows you're capable of more and you're frustrated with your life. You have to make the big decisions in your life with your heart. We're not making some list of pros and cons. That's your head thinking. Don't do that. Big decisions with your heart. And then you use your head to help you figure out the plan. Like your heart tells your head, heart, we're doing this. Head, we're doing this. Okay? No options. Now help me figure out. You're the smart one. Help me figure out how to actually make it happen. Big decisions in life with your heart. Small ones with the head. Number 2 is understand that your purpose comes from your pain. This is a key theme in my new book, Built to Serve. Your purpose comes from your pain. Your purpose is to help other people who currently are what you used to be. Think about what you struggled with, what you suffered through. There are so many people who are currently struggling with the exact same thing. You represent hope to them. You can help them. You can guide them. You can save them. But you have to be out there creating. So if the idea that you have, the dream that you have is in service to the people who currently are who you used to be, and you're going to reach back and help them, you have to keep going. That's going to fill you up for life. I love helping entrepreneurs so much because I struggled so much as an entrepreneur in my first business when I felt worthless. I love modeling success and teaching you guys about all these famous entrepreneurs and what they've done because that's how I got out of the hole that I was in, right? Bill Gates saved my first company. His story did, right? So that's all I've done now for the past 20 years of trying to now give back and help out other entrepreneurs. And so if your purpose in your business and what you want to create is coming from that pain point that you went through and you want to help others not suffer as much, you have to keep going because that's going to fill you up for the rest of your life. And number 3 is ask yourself, what would you do if money wasn't a problem? A lot of times we quit because money's a problem. And that is a practical reality of being an entrepreneur. Money is often a problem. You haven't figured out yet how to make it a success. You haven't figured out with my YouTube channel at the beginning. I didn't know how to make it a success. I wasn't making any money. I wasn't getting any views, no comments, no subscribers, right? You haven't figured out the path yet. But if money wasn't the problem, what would you do? Would you still be doing the same thing? This is what often separates the people who just have the maniacal commitment to keep going and have the momentum and energy sustained to keep going, where most logical, sane people would quit and give up because they just love the thing that they're doing so much. If the reason you're doing it is just chasing opportunity, you're gonna lose. You should quit. If you're just chasing opportunity because this year is the year of XYZ, right? Whatever product or service, if you're just chasing down an opportunity, then get out. Because you're gonna go up against people who love what they're doing, right? If it's you who's just chasing opportunity, going up against somebody who loves the thing, you're gonna lose. They're gonna beat you every time. You might have this small, tiny window of success, and then you have to hop to the next thing, and hop to the next thing, and hop to the next thing, and never have any sustained success because you don't actually love the thing that you're doing. And you're gonna come home and be frustrated and angry and upset and never really fulfilled. So the reason that you're chasing down the thing, money's important. It's just not number 1. It's gotta be in your top 5. But if you had all the money in the world, what would you spend your time doing? And then make sure that whatever business you're in right now is just a smaller version of what you would be doing, because that's the dream that you want to work towards. Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, question of the day, I want to know, what's one big decision that you need to make today with your heart? Let me know. Put it down in the comments below. And if you made it this far in the video and you promise, you commit to take action after watching it, we don't just watch a video, we do something afterwards, give me a hashtag believe down in the comments as well.
I love salespeople because we are all so crazy. Like, we're so crazy that we woke up one day and we're like, you know what we want to do? We want to try to get people to give us their money for stuff they don't really need. That sounds like a great idea. That sounds like a great job. You know what? Like a consistent, honest salary with benefits where I'll go to school for it and come home with my white picket fence. Psh, that's for someone else. I want a job. I want a career where there is no ceiling, right? There's also no floor. Because if I don't sell real estate, and if you don't sell cruises, then we got to figure out how we're going to pay our bills. Right? But we all looked at that risk and we looked at how scary that is and we said, you know what? That's what I want to do. I want to do that because it freaks me out and I've got that adrenaline in my system. And I know you're looking at me now and you're like, yeah, well, Ryan, you're on $1 Million Listing New York. You've been doing this forever. I haven't really. So it must be really easy for you. But I swear to you, the last thing I thought I was ever going to do in my life was be a salesperson.
And if you want to know from Elon Musk how you can ask better questions, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Very often the issue is understanding what questions to ask. And if you can properly frame the question, then the answer is the easy part.